when the messaging in your video doesn't match the messaging in your ad campaigns, there's automatically a disconnect.
And so the types of ads that we're going to be running are both beautifully filmed
And distribution in the form of ads. We're not showing up, putting a camera in front of you and saying, okay, talk.
but we're actually taking your stories because they are emotional. That's why the combination of creative and performance is so important.
So the marketing realm is pretty noisy. There's conflicting advice on what you need to do, what's working today, what doesn't work any longer. There's gurus telling you to try new things, to do this, to do that their way is the way, right? So with that in mind, we're just gonna have a conversation today and talk about really the common sense side of marketing.
Yeah.
And what are the tried and true, right, principles that we really focus on that get clients results without having to chase fads and trends, but still get great results.
Yeah. I've never been like a trend type of person.
Yeah.
Because it comes and goes, it's fleeting. Maybe it starts now and it's good for a little bit, but also it might not even bring in the type of clients that you want.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that, especially with organic marketing, right? And it's been a thing. You even see it now with paid ads. They run the same type of play on trends, but there's something that has always worked, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I believe that has a lot to do with the brand that each person is building.
Yeah.
The story that we're telling, that comes directly from the companies themselves.
Yeah.
That's what still works today.
Sure.
You may call it brand awareness. It may be like a long-term campaign, which I believe that we should all be in the game of, especially if we're building a brand to stand the test of times. It should be something that could be rooted in so much deeper, than what most of these marketers are doing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if your feeds and inbox are anything like mine, but it's a daily, almost hourly occurrence where I'm getting emails, voicemails, text messages, DMs, LinkedIn. I can't open LinkedIn without having 3 or 4 marketing people, and it's all these marketers saying that they have the trick, right? They have the thing that's going to work, and then when you're scrolling social media, it seems like so many of the ads are the gurus talking about how it's all about Instagram ads, or it's all about this thing or that, and it's so it's overwhelming, right? And we're in the space, and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine for most of the businesses out there that may not be as familiar with the marketing space, they're seeing all this. It can get confusing.
And not that we're saying that we have all the answers.
Sure.
But we've done this long enough to see a trend of things that have worked in the past that still work today.
Yeah.
The foundation of what it is, of storytelling.
Right.
That's where everything comes. That's where everything starts. The best storytellers have lived the test of time. We still read books today, that were written thousands of years ago.
That's right.
And that's because there's a lot of stories that are filled in those books.
Sure.
So if we want to say that we're going to create something and market something for businesses and companies that could work today and work a year from now, because with technology, everything is just moving too fast. And to your point, people are getting bombarded from different places, from Instagram, from Facebook, from YouTube, all because of this little guy right here in our pockets.
Yep.
We walk around with it, and you could pull it out right now, and the things that we're talking about right now will be shown to us.
Yeah.
And that's just technology. So how do we say, how are we going to help these businesses and companies, stand true to who they are?
Sure. When you're chasing trends, that trend is only going to last for a week or two, and then you have to find the next trend. And it's exhausting and it's expensive, because if you're always having to try to keep up with the newest thing, right? You're chasing something that you're never going to catch it, because as soon as you find it, it's already changed again. And so, to your point, what we're talking about with storytelling is every company was founded for a reason,
Right.
and every time we meet with a company, we find out, why do you exist? Why do you do what you do?
Yeah.
And that's why we're very selective of the companies and the brands that we work with, because there has to be more, right, than just, I just want to get big or I just want to grow. Sure, that's obviously a goal, but there has to be more, right? And that's why we have to dive in and dig into that story and be able to tell it. So
yeah, and I think there's a framework, to pull those stories out because it's the who do you serve, the audiences and who not. And let's actually do it for us, as Story Fuels, our client, who do we serve?
So our clients are 7- and 8-figure businesses. They've done the hard work. They've put in the work to build their brand, usually from nothing.
Yeah.
They've been around a few years. They've many times, many years.
Yeah.
Some of our clients right now, they've been in business 50, 60 years. And they have a rich history.
Mm-hmm.
But whether you've been in business for 50 or 60 years or 2 or 3, once you've reached that 7-figure mark, you've proven that you have an offer that works. You've proven that you have a business that works. You've weathered a few storms, and so you know how to run a business. And so the reason that we work best with those businesses is because they understand that it takes the hard work, right, to grow.
Right.
And then partnering with an agency to tell their story, to run their full funnel ad campaigns, they understand that it's a process. They understand what goes into it, and we're able to partner with them on a deeper level because they're not desperate to survive.
Right.
They're looking to grow.
Right.
They're already successful, and we're able to help them get to that next level.
Yeah. And that's good that you broke it down in that way. So the who, the what, basically you talk about the why a little bit, and you've talked about the who, 7 or 8-figure, businesses that they're experts in the field. They've built a business. They have something going for them.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily, not that they don't need this, but they understand the fact that if they're going to go to the next level, they need a partner to look at their business from a marketing standpoint and help them push them to the next level. And so now let's talk about some of the things that we do offer those types of clients. Let's break it down even a little bit more. It could be on the high level. How do we go into these businesses and help them, go to the next level?
There's a saying that says, what got you here won't get you there, right? And that's exactly what our process involves, is usually it's different than the things that they've done before. It's almost counterintuitive to what they feel like may work sometimes. Because when we sit you down and conduct an interview, and really before even the cameras are rolling, we're asking you to tell us about your business. Why do you matter? What makes you unique? Why should a consumer choose you over the other 100 people in your niche in your local area? So that's where everything starts, is really with that meeting that really helps us get to know our clients, right? So at a high level, but just to dig in a little bit deeper, we're going to take the company story, the mission, and the values, and put those at the forefront. And then we take those and we lead with high quality video, right? We're showing up with lighting, cameras, professional audio, and we're giving our clients a treatment that maybe they've never had before with video. Many have, some haven't. But then we're taking that content and recording not just ads, but we're telling the story about the business. And then we're going to take and we're going to run ad campaigns with that as well. And I think we can talk about that. So a lot of times agencies, they do one or the other, right? They do video production, or you have advertising agencies. And what we do is we've taken that approach, and we realized how many times that disconnect is expensive for the end client, and the messaging becomes a little bit disjointed. Because when the messaging in your video doesn't match the messaging in your ad campaigns, right? There's automatically a disconnect.
Totally.
So we're taking, and by combining high quality video production and distribution in the form of ads, we're able to keep that messaging cohesive, but also it ends up saving the client money as well, because now you're not having to go to multiple agencies for that.
That's good. And even looking at the way things have progressed, from back in the day with newspapers, that was the beginning of all this, prints on newspaper. And what were they doing? They were telling stories, back then as well. And, maybe even put in ad placements for them to come to my business and buy something. So that's how it started. And then from there, it went to the radio. You know, people running ads on radio.
Sure.
You know, again, all this first is written, now it's audible. And then from there, we went to TV, visual. So a combination of visual and audio together for people to come watch or come to their business place and buy something from them.
Right.
Now that we've gone to a place where anyone could place something on the internet,
Sure.
it's getting definitely noisy.
Yeah.
And so what has always stood, you know, the test of time, the stories.
Right.
But we're doing it in a way where still playing to the way things were with television, visually appealing. There's a reason why people spend millions of dollars to be placed on an ad for the Super Bowl, because you have a lot of eyes watching the Super Bowl. We have a lot of people watching that. And so the types of ads that we're going to be running are both beautifully filmed, but also ready and strategized for performance, for people to actually click, watch. Emotions are tied into it in some kind of way. Again, it's not like we're doing a service of we're just going to place something for people to be emotionally tied to, but we're actually taking your stories because they are emotional.
Right.
And how do we pull that emotion from them for people to listen to audibly and to watch visually and say, yes, I want to work with this person.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, iPhones are powerful tools, right?
Yeah.
We all carry an iPhone in our pocket, most of us. And a lot of content that you see is user generated, right? So you can pull out an iPhone, say something into the camera, and place it on an ad within 10 minutes, right? You can have an ad going on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, wherever. And that style is fine. There's nothing wrong with it for the right brands. But the brands that we're working with, they have a different level of expectation, right? These brands are not going to, you know, for professional ad campaigns, they're not going to pull out an iPhone and just say, good enough is good enough, right? So that's who we work best with, is the ones who say, we're ready for more, and we expect more. And more importantly, our clients expect more. So speaking of them, and so that's where that high quality video comes in, because when we show up, multiple cameras, audio, lighting, it's a completely different environment.
Totally.
We're not showing up, putting a camera in front of you and saying, okay, talk, right? We go in fully prepared. We conduct interviews. We do all the work ahead of time to get to know you, get to know your brand, get to know your story. That way, when the cameras are rolling, it's smoother.
It's smoother, yeah. And what's important about each person's brand is that it's different. So the approach is different. The strategy for your business is different from the next person. And so how do we even get there? You know, it's by conducting strategy meetings to understand your brands. We don't just come into your place of business and say, oh, we're just going to shoot something and run an ad. We need to understand the business. We need to understand the personality of the business. And we need to understand what you want your clients to actually feel when they do watch, you know, your produced ads.
Absolutely. You know, that's where being local to our clients is so important, because we understand their market, we understand their company. We're able to walk through their doors, and not coming in from out of state or something like that, but we're right here in the community. We're able to walk in your doors and understand who you're serving, who you are as a company, meet with you in person. And that connection, right, is super meaningful, because the better that we can understand our clients is the better that we can communicate their story as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why the combination of creative and performance is so important. We've talked about it already, but again, to stress the importance of it, even from a creative side of things, the creative process of saying that not every strategy is going to be the same. Not every creative is going to be the same, because if we're running a campaign for a company, you know, how do we go into that company and say, this is what we're going to shoot, this is what we're going to film? It takes the pre-production work that we're going to have to do, you know, after the strategy meeting. Pre-production goes next, right? We talk, you know, with the team. We talk to the creative director, myself. We talk with you, you know, like that is going to place the ads, and just figure out, okay, this is what would work best for this company. If we have to do interviews, you know, we'll send them what we're looking for, the business themselves, and then they could actually put together a team that would be able to talk about the things that we want them to talk about, to highlight. If we need high quality visuals, like maybe we need some clients to come in, again, we'll give a list of things that we're looking for.
Right.
And then that business could go in and say, this is what they need. Let's get this for the production day. So now we've done the meeting, we've done the pre-production, and now moving into production of coming in to film all the content. It could be one day, a full day. It could be 2 days, a full day. Just depends, again, on the company and the brand story and what we're trying to pull out. And then from there, it goes into post. And this is where post-production, this is where we take everything that we filmed, create the story that we want to tell, multiple stories that we could tell, right? From the founder story to the testimonials that the clients give, and then from there, we're placing it into the ads. And that doesn't end there. Now we're looking at analytics, we're looking at different things that it's doing, what is working, what isn't working, and then make the changes that we need to make with all the content that we've already captured. Yeah.
Something I've heard from clients is, hey, I got this video, great, now what, right? And that's the challenge with video production only, is that when the video is the product and it's the only product, now you have to figure out what to do with it. Some companies have marketing teams, they may understand some of that, but we even work really well with companies and organizations with marketing directors, marketing teams, because we're able to come in and partner with them to help them with distribution. That way we don't ever have hey, the video's great, but now what? Because we're able to handle that full scope, all the way from creative, high quality visuals, all the way through distribution, whether we're handling it for our clients or we're partnering with their marketing teams, we're able to help them make sure that they're getting the best return on their investment. Right?
And that's even really cool, like, because there are people that have marketing teams already built into their business. Maybe they don't have the time, maybe they don't have the expertise, maybe they don't have the skills to go out there and like film a full scale, creative for the business. That's where we'll come in to help with that, help with the process. And even more than just the creative and the performance, there's also a wholesale strategy that is working behind the scenes. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, what are some of the strategies that we may implement? Again, I understand it's different for each business based on the business, but from a high scale of things, what are some of the things that we're looking at?
Many times when we're working with a client, we'll uncover inefficiencies in the business. We'll find out, there's a perfect example. A few weeks ago, I was in a client's office with them, and I heard them pick up the phone, one of their front desk pick up a phone, and I heard how they spoke to a potential client when they came in. And it was pleasant, they were kind, you could tell that they had training, but then there wasn't like a next step. And so I heard that, and because, again, of that performance mindset, I pulled the owner aside later and I said, hey, can we talk about, this thing? Now, was that directly related to video or ad placement? No, not necessarily, but if we're getting the right people to you, and then there's a gap in performance somewhere in the organization that can be tweaked with a simple change of wording when a potential client calls in that either results in a conversion or not, that's part of that consulting is, if we hear something or if we see something in the business that can make a positive impact, we're going to give that guidance because it helps everybody be successful.
It goes beyond just filming the videos. It goes beyond just placing the ads. It goes beyond all of that. There's a full funnel strategy performance for the growth of the business that we're trying to implement and trying to hit on the head. So the importance of having a full-scale funnel, it's not just video, it's not just ads. There's a strategy that goes beyond just, doing that. And I think people might ask, like, why is that important? If you're already doing well and you're successful, why do you have to be more successful? Like, is this, so what is the whole point of this?
Companies are ready for something more. They know companies that are growing, and if you've gone through the hard work to get to where you're already successful, you're going to get to a point where you're ready to go to the next level, and that's where a partnership with us comes in, because we're able to really look at your business from an outside perspective. And also, not really concerned about the specific niche of it. We can focus on and work with clients across many niches, but
Right.
they're ready for something more. And a lot of times they don't know exactly what that looks like. There's been times where I'll meet with clients, potential clients, that they don't know exactly what they want, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because we're able to come in there and help them with a full-scale marketing plan, right? We're not just giving them a video and saying good luck. We're not just running an ad campaign without really understanding what the goal is. We have meetings ahead of time, before cameras roll, before ad campaigns are run. We have strategy sessions where we're sitting together with the owners, directors, managers of the organization to say, tell us about the business. Where are you at? Where do you want to go to?
Yeah.
Many of our clients are very open in sharing where they're at with their revenue and what they're trying to get to. And those conversations are so helpful and effective, because once we know the business, we can become truly a partner in that.
Yeah.
Our job's not done once the video is shot and delivered. Our job's not done once the ads are launched. We stick with our clients, but they're not stuck with us.
Right.
And that's where we'll work with clients as long as they want to continue, right? But many times clients will have internal teams that they do want to grow,
Right.
and we'll partner with them to help give their teams the tools and resources to now run these ads effectively.
Yeah.
And so you're not stuck with a marketing agency for the rest of your company's history.
Right.
You know, we really tailor our approach to what's needed for that organization.
And I love that approach, because I've been a part of organizations where I get to train
Yeah.
the marketing department, the creative team, to be able to take on what's going on after I do leave. You know, I've partnered with organizations where maybe there's a one to two person man team.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we build this to a scale where, okay, we've done this. Now it's your job to take it on and continue to go. So our plan is not to continue to just, take the money from the clients.
Sure.
We're wanting to help them build, if they do have the team,
Sure.
especially, we're wanting to help them build something that they could sustain by themselves.
Sure.
And I think that's a good approach. That's an approach where, and I mean, not to call out any marketing, departments or marketing agencies,
Sure.
but sometimes they get in a place where it's hard and difficult
Yeah.
for them to have that separation.
Yeah.
And so to have a good offload spot, for the business to say, okay, this is where we drop you off,
Yeah.
and then you just take it on. If you do need us down the line, we're here,
Yeah.
type thing. So
Yeah.
I love that approach.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Talking about that differentiating factor, what differentiates us from other marketing agencies?
Sure.
Our
Our origin story, we won't go into it,
Right.
deeply, but, your focus on the creative and my focus on the creative plus the performance is really what's gotten us to this point today.
Yeah.
Because us working together allows us to really look at that client from a creative and a performance perspective,
Right.
to get them to where they want to go.
Totally.
And if you look at the build out of a lot of teams, is there that diversity? And we've purposefully built that diversity into the team to make sure that we have the skill sets to get our clients to where they want to go.
Yep.
Yeah. And then also the approach of not relying on locking people in with us forever, right? We want to, obviously, if somebody does not have a marketing team, or they want us to be their marketing
Right.
department, right? For an extended period, we're happy to do that.
Absolutely.
But on the other side, if there is a team in place that we can partner with, that we can equip and train up, how many agencies are doing that?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, this has been a good conversation.
Yeah.
If you're listening today to this, hit us with a subscribe, like it, share it. And also, if this, caters to you and just whatever it is that you're doing in business, please click the link in the description and give us a call. We'd like to talk to you.
So,
Cool.